designed, or in the shapes we know today. Drifting and colliding, the continents have been in motion since they formed. Turning the clock back 250 million years, we see North America as part of the supercontinent Pangaea. 500 million years ago, North America was isolated, straddling the equator, and partially underwater. To see the conditions that created Grand Canyon's oldest rocks, we must travel back even further. 1.7 billion years ago, ancient North America collided with a chain of volcanic islands, which set in motion a dramatic series of events. The islands and seafloor were forcibly joined to the stable core of North America. Once attached to the continent, their rocks would endure, but they would be transformed in the process. As the collision pushed up mountains, it drove rocks and sediment more than 10 miles into the earth. Intense pressure and heat transformed this very material into the Vishnu Basement rocks, the foundation of the Grand Canyon region. Even as the mountains formed, erosion tore at them. Eventually, the once deeply buried basement rock lay exposed on the surface. But it wouldn't remain on the surface for long. The stage was being set for the introduction of new sediment. By 1.2 billion years ago, continental growth had left the Grand Canyon region embedded in an ancient supercontinent at the edge of a narrow inland sea. Rivers rich with mud and sand flowed into this marine basin. Waves and tides sorted and distributed these sediments, and the sea added its own layers of limy mud. Look below the surface and see how each deposit became a distinct rock layer, cemented under pressure from the layers above. Interruptions in this accumulation left gaps in the rock record. Some interruptions were relatively brief, but others produced profound changes. Beginning 650 million years ago, the ancient supercontinent began to break up. As it did, the basin was stretched and uplifted, shattering the neatly stacked rock layers. Erosion took a heavy toll as well. The broken and scattered layers that remain are known as the Grand Canyon Supergroup. But there were many new layers to come. The land sank along the newly formed coast, and the processes of rock formation resumed. Often these layers captured the likenesses and remains of the creatures that lived here, from scary trilobites and slithering worms that scavenged the mud, to the sail-backed dimetrodons.